A new election poll from Montana State University shows what most campaign watchers in the state believe, that the top races in Montana are all competitive. Results showed Democrat Steve Bullock leading Republican Steve Daines in the state's marquee Senate race and single-digit margins in the contest for governor, House, and president. Tonight, MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison has details and some insight.
First, let's go straight to the poll results in the major races. In the Senate race, Democratic Governor Steve Bullock is leading Republican incumbent Steve Daines 49% to 47%. For governor, Republican Greg Gianforte, the state's current congressman, is leading Democratic Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney 47% to 42%. In the race for U.S. House, Republican State Auditor Matt Rosendale leads Democrat Kathleen Williams 48% to 46%. And in the presidential race, President Trump has a 51 to 44 edge over Democratic nominee Joe Biden. The poll also asked voters if they favored approving ballot measures that would legalize recreational marijuana in the state. 49% said yes, 39% said no, and 12% said they hadn't decided. The poll is based on mail questionnaires returned by about 1,600 registered likely Montana voters. It also has a fairly high margin of error, plus or minus 3.9%, so it's possible that any of these races could go the other way, or the leaders could have bigger margins. But MSU political scientist David Parker says other results of the poll may indicate an edge for Democrats. For example, the poll shows that independents and younger voters strongly favor the Democratic candidates. And he says widespread use of mail ballots may boost these groups' usually low turnout.
But here I have evidence to suggest that young voters definitely prefer the Democratic candidates disproportionately, and the independent voters disproportionately prefer the Democratic candidates. So if we're going to have a much higher turnout, you can see those numbers. It could be a pretty bruising campaign for the Republicans down the ballot with that really Democratic election.
Also, President Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 20 percentage points 4 years ago in Montana, but according to this poll, is leading Joe Biden by only 7 points. Parker says that erosion of support for Trump could hurt Republicans in the state.
If we want to extrapolate from that pattern, it suggests to me that the Republican brand is a little tarnished, and perhaps as a result, this could have consequences for down ballot races.
And finally, on the Senate race, another plus for Bullock is his approval rating of 60% in the poll, compared to 52% for Steve Daines.
I think overall, people like Bullock. I think they find him personal, and I think they like the job that he's been doing with the coronavirus. And I think at the end of the day, this is the biggest concern I would have with Steve Daines.
Of course, a poll is just a snapshot in time, and this one was conducted 2 to 4 weeks ago. Since then, we've had millions of dollars spent on these races, and millions more are in the pipeline. Also, Republicans are still the majority among Montana voters, and Democrats usually have an uphill battle in any statewide race here. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks, Mike. Now you can see the full poll results on our website, along with Mike Dennison's coverage of the results.